I think Mr. Peter Obi is very right to remind the people again that, look, when you collect small money and you vote, it's your future that you are joking with. Because the same politician who has had to sell a house or sell his vehicle to come and give you money that will take you maybe 2 days, when he gets to office, he wants to recoup his investment.
The fact that Dr. Abati is even backing Peter Obi's view says a lot. Let's be honest here, my people. Peter Obi has come under heavy attack ever since he simply urged Nigerians to get their PVCs ahead of 2027. But what exactly did he say that is so wrong? The real issue is deeper. Even INEC officials are being called out as the major problem enabling vote rigging. Just like many Nigerians have said, if nothing changes, the 2027 elections might even be worse than 2023. And the truth is, we seriously need reforms, not only judicial reforms, but also electoral reforms. And now, you won't believe some APC leaders are even hinting that 2027 results are already a done deal, as if everything has been written before the election even starts. But let's not jump. Take a listen first.
This post yesterday morning. If not, I'd accuse him of stealing Dr. Abati's comments yesterday. But I mean, both absolutely correct. And I think a deeper conversation we should be having around vote buying should be an education of the electorate to understand the consequence or the opportunity cost of them selling their votes, which he stated in his post. I totally agree with what he said. And he said this ahead of continuous voter registration that started. I believe he kicked off today. And will be going on for a few more weeks. INEC has launched that. Online pre-registration has started, and this is just to raise that awareness as well. Apparently, the uptake has been very impressive, and most of the people who have registered for their PVCs are young people. And Nigeria is a young population. We have 60% or more of our population made up of young people. And usually when you see, if you watch that video, you can play that video again, where people are seeing, that video that was captured over the weekend. You see that a lot of people who are there, okay, we see a lot of them are young people. A lot of people have come. These are jobless people. People don't have work. We know we have a high unemployment rate in Nigeria. And so they just use them as tools. But what these young people must understand is that the future of Nigeria lies on, it sits on their shoulders. And what they do today is what they'll reap tomorrow. We are still reaping what we did or did not do during our time, at their age. And so if you are seen as a political tool or a weapon, you are just a tool in the hands of people who do not want what's best for you. When they offer you pittance, you are literally selling your future, mortgaging your future on very cheap, very low. And so I'm hoping that the National Orientation Agency, this is a challenge to them, and perhaps other platforms, not-for-profit organizations will rise up and begin to re-engineer the minds of young people in Nigeria to understand the implications of selling their votes, and also understand the implication of staying back and not actually coming out to vote, because voter apathy is also a thing beyond vote buying. So these are some of the things that we should talk about. The last point I'll make on this story and with that video is that oftentimes we see the faces of the people who are guilty, but what we don't see are consequences. We don't see anything that happens to them, and so that is why it will continue to happen. Where there are no consequences, there's no deterrent to not do it again. And so I'm hoping that INEC will step up, and actually, well, not just INEC actually, but also the security agents will also step up with the provisions of the law and bring these people to book where they are selling. People who are organizing or orchestrating these things, take them and let them face the full consequences, and let's see an end to this thing. But let me just remind our young people, if you sell your vote, you sell your future. It is just a temporary pleasure that you mortgage for long-term benefits for you and your generations to come.
Well, the counter-argument that I hear is that the people are hungry, they are poor, so it's out of desperation and the dispossession that has overtaken the economy that people just sell their votes because people live hand to mouth. But this is not the purpose of democracy. The purpose of democracy is for the people to have informed choice, to have free choice, and to be able to determine their own future by choosing the people who will represent them. And it was on the basis of that I was saying yesterday that perhaps we need to do a lot more in terms of voter education and voter mobilization. INEC at all levels, whether it's state independent electoral commission or at the federal level, INEC has what they call a voter education department. How much energy is put into that? Political parties are also supposed to be involved in voter education, civil society groups, the National Orientation Agency. But it's just that we just leave the Nigerian voter who has been experiencing democratic rule since 1999, 36 years now, to just assume that it is the normal thing to collect money from politicians. Part of it is the lack of trust between politicians and the people, because the assumption is that the man who is looking for political office is looking for an opportunity to gain access to state resources, and that if the politician is going to make money, why don't they make their own? Now, there's also a lack of conscience, moral turpitude on the part of the average Nigerian voter. You know, these voters, they are very smart. If you go to them, you are talking about we will build schools, nobody wants to listen to all those highfalutin things about what you want to do. They will say, look, give us money. And they will collect from, if there are 10 political parties on the ballot, they will collect from all of them and then decide at the end of the day that is the highest bidder that is the most serious person. So you have, a voting process, a leadership selection process that is not based on merit, that is not based on proper education and enlightenment of the people. Therefore, I think Mr. Peter Obi is very right to remind the people again that, look, when you collect small money and you vote, it's your future that you are joking with. Because the same politician who has had to sell a house or sell his vehicle to come and give you money that will take you maybe 2 days, when he gets to office, he wants to recoup his investment.
Right.
If he's lucky to have won the election. So I think we cannot get tired of reminding the people again and again that you do not sell your votes. The other issue about money being distributed in Kano. It wasn't only in Kano. In Ogun State, we were saying yesterday, a vehicle, a Mitsubishi van, was intercepted and 2.5 million naira was found in it. The only explanation that the occupants of the van could offer was that they were given the money by a man called Political Solution. Some individuals, in fact, go around calling themselves Political Solution. And the only solution they have is to corrupt the system, the process, and give money to persons. Mm-hmm. As to the point made by Ayo about electoral offenders, in fact, even INEC has had to push for the establishment of a national independent commission on electoral offenses, National Electoral Offenses Commission. That's the exact title of the proposal. So that INEC directly will have powers to prosecute. But what happens? When INEC even has a case and there has been an arrest, these offenders are handed over to the police for prosecution. How many persons have we seen being prosecuted? Because it's a skewed culture that we have. Godfathers, the principals, because those people who distribute money, they are agents. They have principals. They are the ones who will go to the same police station and rescue them. They are the ones who will further empower the thugs. This is a country where we have seen confirmed thugs occupying important positions of authority in the corridors of power. And I keep saying that one of these days, we will have a proper thug with a track record of violence emerge either as a senator or as a member of House of Reps or as even the governor of a state. That is what we have to correct. And that is why we keep arguing that the best legacy that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu can leave behind is a transparent electoral system that has integrity. It should not just be about power. It should be making sure that the people of Nigeria can make informed choice.
Right.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I'd like to comment on
course.
this story because I think this is one of the most important stories. So the truth of the matter is this. Again, culture will eat strategy for breakfast. If I'm to get a coin for how many times I've said that, I'll be a billionaire probably by now. So it's a multifaceted problem, and I want to take them in many dimensions. Number one, yes, Peter Obi says PVC is important. I think it's not as important as electoral reform. And I'd like to repeat here that if we don't get electoral reforms passed, make IRF justiciable, make the use of beavers, make all the technology that will make elections safe, all right? And be able to look at the electoral laws in such a way that as we speak today, do you know that if there's any infraction, like certificate palaver against an opponent, once the opponent passed the primaries of his party, other political parties cannot sue him based on it. It has to be the people that he contested in the primary with. Once you don't change those laws and get a holistic electoral reform, forget 2027. I will be here after the elections and I will remind you that I said it. Record today's dates down. So we'll be joking. Number one. Number two, we talk about money in politics. How are we not going to have money in politics? See, people that are being given bribe of 20,000 naira to vote for them, in fact, they are being cheated. In this last election, I got empirical facts that they gave some people 20,000. The people that were sharing the money gave the people 10,000. Okay. So they even cut the money in half. So cheater, they cheat cheater. They are all cheating them. So it's a value chain of cheating. And the election, the voters too, that go to like 2, 3, or 4 different political and collect the same money. At the end of the day, what do you collect? You collect less than 50,000 on election day. That 50,000, maybe you cook your pot of soup a couple of times. It's all over. Then you have to deal with someone that is so corrupt that will steal times 10 of the money he has given you. So in the value chain, you that collected the money are the biggest fool. Because you are being cheated. It's not the amount that the politician release that gets to you in the end. How do you want elections to be seen where till today, INEC has not ever implemented the laws as regards how much you can spend per election? All political parties have crossed that spending threshold one way or the other. Has INEC been able to implement and bring them to book? No. How will you want to remove money from election where the barrier to getting a party ticket for presidential election is over 100 million? Yeah. So I would like to propose some solutions. You can say I'm very radical. If we truly want sanity, money should not be involved. But the political parties will argue and say, Rufai, no, there must be money involved. How are we going to run the elections? The money we'll take we to run the election. Fine. Like it's the political party that put money down. In the end, it's the funders that put money down. Mm-hmm. Please. So when they say we have to run the election, it's not true. Because it was when we started fighting with the PDP that we know that the same money that they collected for primaries were siphoned. Mm-hmm. And he said those things. I would like a case where we have a proper vetting process that includes the criminal records of anybody that want to vie for presidency. Not about collecting money from them. An independent panel that will be able to screen based on their criminal records and antecedents. Let's see if they will truly prize screening. But that's if they don't even bribe those that are on the screening panel with money. So you can see that I'm giving a point, I'm countering it. It shows that these decadence have gone in deep into the system. So it's an holistic reform we have. Mm-hmm. But the quickest way, apart from PVC, is the electoral reform. If you don't fix those electoral reforms and judicial reform, because even when you fix electoral reform, when you get to the judiciary, it's another one. If you don't fix those two, electoral reforms, and you are wasting your time. The 2027 election might even be worse than the 2023 election.
A lot they occur. Well, like I always say, I'm not here to take sides but to keep you updated with the reality we are all facing. If people already predicted 2027 like it is scripted, then what hopes does the common man have? We can't just sit back and watch history repeat itself. Well, Peter Obi's call to action, telling people to get their PVCs is not desperation. It is just common sense, sincerely speaking. We need a working system, not recycled drama. So, in the comments, what is your honest take? Is Peter Obi making sense, or is the system not just ready to change? Let me know what your honest opinions are. And as always, stay informed, stay sharp, and don't forget to subscribe for more real updates.